So here's something that's been happening at the Westminster Presbyterian Church while we have been shut down for the pandemic. We have renovated one of our rooms and have rented it out to the New York State Council of Churches. And here it is. This room used to be a Sunday school room, and now it's the office for New York State Council of Churches. And here's Peter Cook, the executive director. Hi, Peter. How are you settling
Hi, Heather. It's great to be here. We get to be right at the seat of power next to the Albany Capitol, where we can come over and make our voice known across the state.
No. Now that's what the governor is going to be saying. Oh, we're now right next to the seat of power because we're near the New York State Council of Churches.
And then we're inside the seat of power with the Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is doing great ministry in the community and world. And it's just really a pleasure to be here and share this partnership with our friends at Westminster.
And would you like to introduce us to your office mate here?
Oh, yes. This is Ruby. This is our my therapy dog. And she's very gentle, and she's part of our lobbying staff who is over there trying to charm people in the Capitol. She's very good at it.
And what would you say her main issues are?
Well, she wants to be fed twice a day, and she doesn't like thunderstorms, so she needs to be held, and she's very friendly with anybody who will give her food or come up and pet her.
Okay. So tell us a little more about the New York State Council of Churches.
Well, the New York State Council of Churches has been in New York since the late 19th century. It started as the New York Sunday School Association, and it has now evolved into being called the New York State Council of Churches. But we have 8 denominational partners who support us, including Presbyterian Church USA, which of course Westminster is a part of the Presbyterian Church USA, and the Episcopal Church, the Reformed Church, the Lutheran Church, the United Church of Christ, American Baptists, Quakers, and one more. I should be able to tick all of those off, but we have 8 denominations who are our partners, and we really focus on 4 things. Number 1 is that we certify and support chaplains in the state prison system and other state institutions. You can't be a Protestant chaplain until you're certified by us, and so we certify these chaplains and then also try to support them in doing really the frontline work of caring for some of the most vulnerable people in the state of New York. And then secondly, we're very interested in doing public policy work. A big focus for us is trying to address the problem of wealth inequality, both within New York and across the country, ensuring that people are paying their fair share of the taxes so that we can ensure that proper services are offered to the poor and the disenfranchised. We also work in the area of criminal justice reform. We were very strongly supporting the efforts to reform the bail system within the state of New York, and now we are turning our attention to how people who come out of prison can re-enter society and stay out of prison. We're also very interested in environmental policy. We are very supportive of things like the Green New Deal, and also the Climate and Community Protection Act, which really tries to bring New York and the country to a more sustainable future, which is not so reliant on fossil fuels. So then sort of the third area we work in is affordable housing and community development. Heather worked with me on this ongoing project, but really it's to help congregations all over the state of New York look at their mission and how that relates to how they use their buildings and their property. And many of them could be building affordable housing with that property, but we also try to help churches look at other uses for their property as well. Recently, we received a sizable grant from Trinity Church Wall Street to help us work with congregations in New York City, and we're really excited to have received that grant in conjunction with Bricks and Mortals, which is part of Judson Memorial Church, the Interfaith Assembly on Housing and Homelessness, and on Homelessness and Housing, and also the Interfaith Affordable Housing Collaborative. So we're always looking to talk to anyone who might like to use their property in any part of the state for more socially redemptive purposes. And then the final area that we work in is both local, national, and international ecumenical work. Some of that comes in terms of education. Every year we do a high school program where we take a number of high school kids to places like New York or Washington, D.C. to study public policy and learn how to act on their faith in the public square. And a number of kids from Westminster Presbyterian Church have participated in that program. And then we also do a lot of work with our friends at the Church of South India, trying to support them and their efforts to fight for human rights and religious freedom in India, and how we can influence public policy in the United States to make that a more just and welcoming society.
Nice.